Chapter 2. Sunlight crept around the edge of the curtains as Alex rolled over, hand already reaching for his phone on the bedside table. He couldn't wait to check his messages. But there was nothing new. Alex swiped past his regular apps, looking for another cool new game to try before breakfast. Suddenly, that same eerie green icon from last night pulsed on the screen. Alex's brow furrowed. Hadn't he decided to delete that app? His finger hovered over the icon, curiosity fighting with unease in his gut. The twisted T-shaped image seemed to pulse faster and brighter under his touch. "Here goes nothing," Alex muttered. He tapped the icon. The phone froze, screen glitching in a dizzying burst of static and garbled pixels. "What?" Alex jabbed at the screen, trying to force quit the app. No dice. The flickering intensified, making his eyes water. Frustrated, Alex tried to cover the dazzlingly bright screen with his hand. When that didn't work, he dropped the phone on his bed. This was nuts. He went over to his desk and fired up his clunky laptop. Time for some answers. Cracking his knuckles, Alex hunted on Google and then through tech forums and how-to sites, searching for any mention of glitchy green mystery apps. An hour later, Alex slumped back in his chair, stumped. Not a single post about malfunctioning apps matching this one's description. Not even a mention of any app with a twisted T-shaped icon. It was like his phone had downloaded a ghost. Alex glanced over at the device, laying there all shiny and innocent, and scowled. "Fine, keep your secrets," he grumbled, snatching the phone up again. The screen was normal again, all his usual icons sitting neatly in rows. Even the weird, unknown and unkillable app seemed to be behaving itself. What if he opened it one more time? Could he figure out what it was for? Taking a deep breath, Alex tapped the icon, bracing for more digital explosions. The screen smoothly flipped to solid black. Alex waited. Then, acid green text started pulsing across the dark screen. The letters were a blur at first, then they smoothed themselves out and brightened more until they were burning into Alex's retinas.
"Welcome, Alex."
With a yelp, he fumbled the phone, almost sending it crashing onto the bed again. His heart hammered against his ribs. No way. This was seriously creepy with a capital C. Before he could decide what it meant, the screen exploded with nightmarish images, flashing by almost faster than Alex's brain could register. Gnarled, skeletal trees twisting into the sky. A dilapidated mansion crouched in tangles of thorny vines. A shadowy figure with eyes that glowed like radioactive coals. And the phone's speakers blared out a creepy shrieking. Alex squeezed his own eyes shut, heart galloping. He didn't want to see the phone's screen. As he did so, the ear-piercing howl seemed to slowly fade. A moment later, when he opened his eyes again, the phone was dark and still, only his wide-eyed reflection staring back. The app had closed. "Okay, that's it. I'm losing it. Gotta be." Alex ran a hand down his face. He needed backup. Launching himself out of bed, he yanked on some semi-clean clothes, grabbed his backpack, and bolted out of the room. Jaden's shed door groaned loudly as Alex dragged it open, phone clutched tightly in one hand. He stepped into the gloom and squinted. Ahead of him, sitting on an old kitchen chair at a makeshift desk, was Jaden, painting a small dragon figure by the light of a single dingy desk lamp. "Hey, Alex, I wasn't expecting you today," Jaden said, his eyes still focused on the intricate details of the miniature. "I'm just putting the finishing touches on Windwalker, one of the sky dragons. This one's a real beauty." "Forget about dragons. We've got bigger problems," Alex said, thrusting the phone under Jaden's freckled nose. "Check this out. It's like some spooky horror film, but with more jump scares." Jaden carefully set his brush down, giving the figure one last appraising look before turning his attention to the phone. "Is this about that freaky app again? The one that's been giving off major Horcrux vibes?" "No," This is worse. Way worse. Alex quickly filled Jaden in on the glitch fest and creepily personal greeting. It straight up said my name, like it was the Eye of Sauron zeroing in on Frodo. Okay, that's odd, Jaden admitted, double-tapping the now familiar green icon. But it might not be as sinister as you think. Apps can access your online accounts and grab your data. It's more Skynet than Sauron, if you ask me. The boys huddled around the phone with bated breath as the screen flickered to life. Arcane symbols and gibberish scrolled past, too fast to read. Then, without warning, a new message flared.
Find the key. Unlock the truth.
The boys looked at each other, faces scrunched with confusion. The key? What key? Alex asked. It's a game, Jaden said, his eyes lighting up with excitement. It's like a quest. This must be one of those alternate reality games. We have to solve the puzzles to uncover the truth. They spent the next hour coming up with different theories, their voices rising over each other in the cozy confines of the old shed. If it was a puzzle game, where were the clues? Was it a kind of advert for a new fantasy movie? A recruiting quiz for preteen super spies? A brain teaser to win a lifetime supply of limited edition action figures? It was clear that their ideas were growing ever more weird and unbelievable. And just then a piercing screech erupted from the phone's speaker. It was such a surprise it almost launched Jaden out of his chair in shock. The screen was flashing like an emergency strobe light, blazing with images. The whole shed seemed to be filled with strange images and sounds. Ghostly hands clawed at invisible barriers. A mysterious door repeatedly slammed and opened. Then a pair of eyes loomed out of the dark screen, fixing on the boys with a terrible evil stare. Alex could have sworn he felt a cold breath tickle his neck in the stuffy shed. "Turn it off! Turn it off!" Jaden squawked, tearing the phone out of Alex's numb grip. It thudded to the floorboards, still screeching and flickering madly. Alex scrabbled for it, holding the power button firmly until the screen flicked to black. Silence rang in their ears, chests heaving. Jaden carefully righted his paints and miniatures that had toppled over in the chaos. "Okay," he said, the fear clear on his face. "This is getting a bit too spooky for my taste. You need to tell someone about this, like, yesterday."